Thank you for tuning in and welcome to this week's edition of Niles Safety Toolbox Talk. I'm Gino, your safety director, and I'll be your host for this edition. In this edition, we'll be talking about the hidden dangers of stored energy. What is stored energy and why is it so dangerous? First, there's a dangerous misconception that because the power source has been eliminated, that it must be safe. Secondly, if we don't perceive the item to be dangerous, then therefore we don't take the proper precautions. And lastly, when danger strikes, it usually comes swiftly, silently, and without warning. So let's list some different examples of stored energy. Number one, mechanical energy. An example of this would be a heavy-duty spring under tension or pressure. Number two, hydraulic energy. This is when liquid or fluid is stored in a work process or line. Number three, pneumatic. Pneumatic energy typically involves some type of air stored under high pressure. Many pieces of equipment or tools are powered by compressed air. Number four, electrical. Electricity can be stored in many different items even if they've been turned off. Number five, gravitational pressure. This is when gravity will slam things to the ground after energy is released. Let's challenge each other to help raise awareness of the dangers of stored energy, because if we don't think it's dangerous, then we won't take the proper precautions. Here are some helpful safety tips when dealing with stored energy sources. Number one, make sure the item's pointed in a safe direction. Number two, ensure that a lockout-tagout process is fully in place. Details for your job may vary. Work in teams whenever possible. Verify whatever you're working with has been de-energized. And lastly, carefully release and/or depressurize the lines in a safe manner. And make sure to inspect the item before you put it back into service. When you're all done, you can remove the lockout-tagout process that we put in place. Now that we've covered the basic dangers of stored energy, let's move to our shop and do a hands-on demonstration. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of the hands-on portion of stored energy. We're going to take, for example, this power washer. This power washer, even though it's been turned off, has a lot of stored energy in it. The energy can be released by pulling the trigger on the wand. Now, some of the misconception danger is that because it's off, it no longer poses a danger. Well, that's terribly wrong. These items, much like any other items that contain a lot of stored energy in the line, present the danger from the line all the way to the tip. Let's go through the tips we had of keeping our equipment safe. Make sure the tool is pointed in a safe direction. Keep your hand off the trigger. Then we want to verify that our equipment has been turned off. This is a gas-powered one, so we know if the switch and the sound is off, that the tool is actually de-energized. Now we have to deal with all this stored energy in the line. This line runs from the pump all the way to the wand. Making sure our wand is pointed in a safe direction, we would pull the trigger, release the energy. Once the energy's been released in a safe direction, we can then begin to do our maintenance and manipulate our wand as necessary. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to next week's edition.